So we got a nice fight here at 91. The bids are here at 91, and they're doing a pretty good job at holding it, trying to squeeze out the shorts. If the sellers can get it under 91, we can get a good flush going. And I got targets at 91, 88, and 85. If they hold it, they're probably going to squeeze me out of here. We'll see. Let's see if the sellers will come kicking in. They have to get under 91 because that's where bids are holding it up. I'm anticipating a little mini flush. I know we got quite the sell-off after the morning run-up, so we are due. Usually when you get your first target, you're a little more at ease, but that second target will really put you in the driver's seat. I can go break even as soon as I get that second target.
Target filled.
There we go. We got the first target there. Let's get under the 91s to get a good flush. See the selling pressure. Sellers got to kick it on, man. I got to make the move now. As soon as I get that second target, I'm going to go break even. See how well they're holding it up? They're sitting right here at 91. You guys probably can't see that, but it's on the footprints right here. So usually when they get that little dip and they hold it, they may try to take that liquidity where the shorts are or grab a few shorts to pop it, but we'll see. I think this thing is just, it's due for a good pullback. So that's the beauty with my system, is that you can take trades on both sides. Plenty of opportunities both ways. But going against strong momentum is a little more riskier. So you have to proceed with caution. I would have loved to get second target there, 88, but those 91 bids, once they pull those, see how they take that short liquidity right there, and then they start to drive it up. So if sellers can't do anything with this, they're going to get pushed. But on the same token, if the buyers can't do anything, they will also get mashed. Let's see it happen. I know they could pop up until like 17 or something. All in all, it's been a pretty tricky day, especially in the morning. If you're playing extensions, it was for surely a difficult play until they released it. Every time they dipped it, they would buy it up. And it wasn't until the 15-minute broke that broke the 30-minute that went to the hourly and then right to the 4 hours. So that's rare that does that in that quick of a sequence. I just know that there's a bunch of intraday frames just jammed right here. So if they can just apply the pressure collectively, the smaller time frames, and get one more mash down, that would be nice. But then they're taking on the 4 hour, the daily trying to work it up. I believe the weekly is also trying to reclaim. So these smaller time frames, they got a lot going against them. But I'm pretty confident that it's going to get one more flush. So I got to break through 90. No peppering up with one lots. They have to get very aggressive. So we know that there's stops under it by the way it reacted. Nice little flush. Buyers protecting it. So if we pop into somewhere around the 10, I'll go ahead and add that contract that I got my target on. I would much rather them dip down first before they did that. And they might keep it pinned up here for another 10 minutes. I don't know. I know we got that 50 volume. As soon as that kicks on, maybe we get a flush and then they pop. There's just a bunch of scenarios here. Can't really lean either direction. You just have to put on the risk and be good with it. Stay within your means. So I want to see it test this bear flag, create a lower high, and then break. If it breaks through right here, as long as we get a solid wash, I'd be okay with it. But if they just go, I'm going to be on defense because this early break could soak up more shorts and then drive up where they're trying to head to. A lower high would be nice. Let's get that lower high, man. We're looking for something like this. And then something like that. And then if we don't get that, we look for something like this and then this. So two things. Boom. That would be a clean setup. One target, come back and retest it and go. If not, it'll break, come back over, and then go. There's a lot of MBOs up here crawling through 5 through 10. And sometimes the market is just tricky, man. They might just go grab some liquidity and then go. Gotta always be mindful about that. This is what I'm looking for. See how the buyers just keep buying it right there? Yeah, so they're up to something, man. There's not a whole lot of MBOs, but there's a nice batch that's right there. So that's liquidity sitting on the tape. Whether it's shorts having passive orders out or the longs throwing targets out, we don't know. They're one of the same, so I have no idea. But what we do know is there are short stops above 08. Sure, they'll probably go and try to test that to see what's up there. They normally like to go feel around and see if they can trigger off something. And we know for sure that there are stops under that 90. So we're stuck in this small range here. Either it's going to break out or break down. We got 5 more minutes for this 50 volume. It would be nasty if they just come and grab my stops and then go like that. You see how they just go and grab shit? See that? They just be grabbing shit, right? See what I mean? How it reacted like that? That stops over that 08. Now I'm playing with fire because I just moved my stop. Now there's more MBOs going up through 20.
Order filled.
The good is that I'm not too far away from home. Now we know there's new stops above 13 or 14-ish. And I don't have any more to add. So I'm going to have to ride it out. We got 2.5 more minutes. So we're kind of at the mercy of the market. We'll see in about a minute and a half. Either it's going to push and then dump, or it's going to dump and then grab and start to push up. Since I'm short, I'm looking for the dip first. But I've already fully accepted the risk of potentially them going and grabbing my stops. Like, I really want to put it above 20. I'll be putting like 1,000 at risk. I do have it to play with because I already got a nice little buffer in. Maybe I'll just do it. Let's go 21. So 3. So basically, I'm gonna be putting like 1,200 at risk, and the risk to reward is just garbage since they've already pushing it. But here we go. 10 seconds. What it gives, what it does. I'm ready to close out on a wash. We got to get a little lower than that. See, the bid stepped up here to 01. So let's see if we can get under them. We meaning the sellers. I'm gonna have to bring one of my targets up. Sellers just ain't getting it right now. They have to do something. As soon as they get under that 90, I got in volume down through the lower 80s. And we got a lot of bids to get through. They're stacking it still here at 93. But when you're overdue for a pullback, you're overdue for a pullback. Okay, so I got a target. Let's see if I can get those 92s. 92s and 88. That's what I'm looking.
Target filled.
There we go. And I'm going to look for those 88s. If I see the bids start hopping in here, I'm going to jump on out. But the sellers are still present, so I'm going to hold. I'll probably go another leg. I see another little run down there. If we can get through 90.
Target
Ah,
filled.
shit. I'll try to move my target. That's it. It wasn't the best trade. You can't control what the market's going to do because the market's just trying to get liquidity, right? And so you have to understand what they're trying to do. So if you don't get this, then that's going to happen. If that happens, then you can probably get this. So it's a if this, then that kind of scenario. And unfortunately, I only got one target here. If I would have got another target, I would have more to play with. So I added one here. And because I got that one target, I was able to go through this little pop right here. Because I saw the MBOs up at 20. And so I was willing to risk a bit. I was willing to give it up in order to get that pullback because I knew it was well overdue. And now we can sell off. We continue to keep going down. But I was trying to move my target down, and unfortunately, I didn't get it on time. Because now we're under those 90s, right? And that's the ones that were holding the bid up. But that is my time, man. I hope you guys learned something from this. It's just, the market is just full of these little liquidity grabs. It's crazy because this right here, that's a reversal candle. But because we're on a 1 minute, it's more choppier, less reliable. When things like this happen, when they dip, when they flush it and they pick it back up, they flush it and they wake it back up. Now look at the market, right? You know that they're going to take the liquidity of the side that just try to go in what direction. So in this situation, the shorts were trying to push it down. They couldn't. They push it down. They couldn't. One more try, push it down, they couldn't, and they took this set of liquidity to run it again to go grab the liquidity. Because what happens is these stops are basically right up in here. They're going to risk off this 05, this and this, going to risk off the 05 and a little bit above. And then that's where you get that little run. Liquidity grab, and then you go. Now, this is the candle that I refer to. It's a little wick candle. You think it's going to break right here, but they go for one more grab, and then they dump. And this is why I wanted to hold. The market was doing its thing, and I was in the trade a little longer than I wanted to. And so as soon as I got under, I went and took my targets early. But if this would have happened back over here, I would have been holding. I would have been trailing it down, or at least working on the trail down. Unfortunately, I got out pretty aggressively, 95, 92. And then I tried to move it because I've seen that we were going to start to work on those 90s. And as soon as we got under that, we're going to get that flush, in which we did. But I think managing the risk was the key of this play. Acceptance of what you're risking, because if you get taken out, there's no surprise. You already know what you got at risk. And so you can't be mad at yourself. So if you end up like giving a bunch back and you go negative for the day, that's just what it is. Accepting your risk is huge. And sometimes we don't want to accept the risk. I know sometimes I don't. And when I start to move my stops, like, fuck, I'll move it. But then at some point, I got to stop and just eat it. But yeah, this is the nature of it. Accept the loss, manage that risk, and trust what you're half of what it is that it is. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you guys in a bit.